Wake up, Hoosiers. Your tax dollars are going to a for-profit, private prison healthcare company that is providing such bad conditions of care, it's literally killing people. What's up? It's City County Councilor Jesse Brown here to talk to you about Miami Correctional Facility and next week's weekend of action to bear public witness to the horrible things that are happening in the state of Indiana with your tax dollars. Let's get into it. What if we were to take one of the most violent prisons in Indiana, known for frequent stabbings, let's mix in a horrible for-profit healthcare company that has been sued hundreds of times and has had violations in multiple other states, and then let's just add a whole bunch of ICE detainees to the mix. Miami Correctional Facility was already massively dangerous. Multiple people have died, some of them of illness, some of unconfirmed causes, but at least 7 were homicides. That's right. We're running prisons where people can kill other people inside the walls. That's not mentioning the hundreds of uses of force that were reported, or all of the other problems that you could read in the links. Enter Centurion, this healthcare company that had been sued multiple times, and even when they received this massive multi-million-dollar contract in 2021, news, at least in Fort Wayne, was reporting about the fact that this company had a terrible reputation and were actually the highest bidder for the contract. Things at Centurion have gone from bad to worse, as dozens of nurses talked with a reporter from the Indianapolis Star to share their whistleblowing complaints about lies that they claimed that their bosses were telling. Centurion was telling officials at Indiana that their staffing levels were under control, that they didn't have any kind of a backlog in terms of inmates who were asking for medical attention, and that really everything was going just fine. But in actuality, things were so not fine that people were dying as a result. Why did we choose to get into bed with Centurion, even though they had such a bad reputation? Well, we can't know for sure, but maybe the $660,000 that their parent company spent in lobbying for Democrats and Republicans alike in this state might have something to do with it. And why are we even cramming more and more people into this understaffed facility anyway? Is it that we just have to collect all of these violent offenders and deport them? Is that what's going on? No. The 2 people who died were men in their 50s. One of them had surrendered himself to ICE to be self-deported. Neither of them had committed any violent crimes at all. You see, our governor, Mike Braun, had signed a deal with Donald Trump and jokingly started referring to Miami Correctional Facility as the Speedway Slammer. The deal allows for up to 1,000 ICE detainees to be kept in the prison that was already barely keeping its shit together. And that's par for the course here in Indiana. Earlier this year, Mirror Indy reported on an incredibly tragic situation where a hardworking father married to a United States citizen with several citizen children got abducted by ICE, set to be deported, and the conditions that this family had to go through in order to join their father out of the country are really heartbreaking. They snatched up the father without letting him call his family to say what was going on for multiple hours. Finally, the kids had to make peace with the fact that they were going to go to a country that they'd barely visited before and got sick every time they did because of how bad the water quality is there. There are gangs, there's violence, it's a threatening place to live. Oh yeah, and grandma will probably not be able to see them again in the future. So what are you supposed to do about it if, for example, you don't want to make little kids cry, to make 50-year-olds die alone in jail for no reason, and you don't want to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes to make this happen? Well, don't worry. This coming weekend, Friday through Sunday, that would be the August 28th, 29th, and August 30th, there's going to be a weekend vigil. It's basically putting eyes on how many people in the state don't tolerate and don't accept these conditions. Please join me. I'm going to try to be out there once a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I possibly can. Try to make it to at least one. If you can't make it out, at least reshare this and other social media that you're going to see soon, advertising this weekend of public witness, and chip in a few dollars. I will put the link in the comments. It's our tax dollars going to Miami Correctional. That needs to be shut down. We need to abolish ICE. We need to once again create a society, government, and economy that work for the people, not for the billionaires, where we won't be turned against each other for racist reasons, and where all of us could flourish. Love and solidarity, y'all.